No one upload yet. Okay, so right now it's live. Okay, so that is last week. So this week is on SketchUp modeling. I hope you already tried to use the SketchUp. Okay, you can download a trial. You can also use the online version. Now this one, okay. So I've actually recorded in higher quality, but I don't know why it's become lower quality now at YouTube. So in this video, I share with you on how you can create a new model. I did explain a little bit on what tools are there, even though I mentioned last week that I don't want to teach you guys this simple basic software, right? So these are the shortcuts. It's very useful. I wouldn't say important, but it's very useful if you know the shortcut, because you can use, both hands to work. And then I show how to draw, some of the tools. This is how to edit the preferences. Basically on how to use layers. Okay, layers is very helpful. I rarely used this one last time when I was students, but I should use it. So it's very helpful, layers and groups, because if you don't have groups, okay, SketchUp is not like, I don't say AutoCAD. It's okay, it's similar to AutoCAD, I will say, because each lines, to draw like one rectangle, you have to draw, there will be like 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines, and then one surface. So if you deleted one line, the surface will be, you will lose the surface too. So that's why in SketchUp, make a practice to always create a group. Okay, I didn't mention one thing. Let me mention now. What's the difference between group and components? Let me ask you, since no one asked me anything. Okay, Chayun, I think I called Chayun already. Okay. Yuan. Hello, Yuan. What is the difference between SketchUp components versus group?
I think component is under group.
Okay. This one is you're guessing, is it?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Anyone else want to answer? Just unmute and share your answer, okay? Who is this that's using dot as the name? You don't want me to call you? If you're paying attention, you can see that I'm clicking, I'm asking you to unmute your mic. Shaza, if I already asked you, you can just mention to me, okay? Shaza, what's the difference between component and group?
Komponen tu macam kalau group tu dia macam dikelaskan kot.
Macam apa kelas? Macam apa tak? I tak dengar.
Saya macam tak dapat.
Tak sure. Alright, apa? Thank you. Lagi siapa? Zulfakar?
Hi, madam.
Hi, what's the difference between group and component?
I think group we can edit, but if the component we cannot edit. I'm not sure about this because I'm not familiar with SketchUp.
Alright. Thank you. Okay, last. Apa yang boleh tanya? Amir Adam?
Yes, madam.
What's the difference between component and group?
Um, Group tu yang kita select, lepas tu apa-apa yang kita nak edit dekat dalam group tu.
Okay, component.
Kalau komponen ni dia macam, saya nak cakap kalau situ nak edit, situ je.
Situ
Macam
nak
tu lah.
edit, situ je.
Dia macam bukan, maksudnya macam komponen ni apa yang ada dalam group lah. Betul ke? Tak sure madam. Macam tu lah apa yang saya faham.
Okay, so basically satu tu boleh edit, satu lagi tu more tu tak boleh edit lah. Is it? Alright, thank you. Okay, so let me show you. Hopefully jadi kan, tiba tak jadi pula. So this one is component. If you see just now, I already choose right click. I create another one. Okay, when I do this, I remember a few things that maybe I didn't mention in the video. Okay, if you have something, for example, you have a rectangle here. Okay, and this one you right click, you can make component. I just put here rectangle. And then you can double click to edit. You can pen this one. And you can escape to escape all. When you click, if you click this object, let's say you want to make like this, okay? You want to make like an array, you want to copy multiple times, you can press M to move, or you can click this one, move, okay? Click any points, let's say here. If you press Control, you're going to copy lah, okay? And then let's say you want to put here, let's say it's going to be around, let's say over here lah, kan? Katalah 12,000 from the first one, enter. And then you can either press star, star, right? Star or slash. So slash is for divide, star is for multiply. Okay. Star is this one. So this is star, this is slash. Okay. So if you press slash, and then you put that 3, enter. So it's going to be divided into 3. Okay, not including the first one. So the new one divide to 3. If you do the same thing, let me repeat again. M to move, press Control. You don't have to press Control like that, okay? You just press once. You can see the plus there. So you can click here, move it here. So let's say I click there, times 4, enter. So that is what you get. So this is very helpful if you want to create louvers, for example. So let me edit this one. Okay, I'm going to draw like this. And then edit this part. So this is components. Compared to if I draw here and edit. Okay, you can see the difference. There, Amir Kushari already give answer. Oh, some of you already give answer lah, malunya. Just unmute, okay? So Pushra and Amir share answer already. So yes, component, component is like you're creating component, okay? If you edit one of this, it will edit all. Group is unique, okay? Usually group is unique. No, group is unique, but components usually is not unique, means it's like, if you edit one, you edit all. So it's very useful if you are editing something like details. Let's say you have like a wind block, your wind block to the design inside there. So if you edit one design, it will edit all. So imagine if you have to edit each of that, it's going to be very time consuming, kan? Okay, thank you Putra dengan Amir. Okay, apa ya aja tadi ya? Oh, I share this video. Then the others too you can just explore, okay? Model apa, materials, etc. So on the second one, I share with you on 3D rendering, on how you can, remember last time I teach you that you can use, you can apply patterns and you can actually apply custom patterns. But this time, even if it's easier for you to actually like use the patterns, this is the original one from SketchUp. Okay, so you can edit the patterns like this, because if you just apply the patterns over here, it's going to be like very 2D and facing you, right? So you can adjust manually to make it more 3D. Okay, you can refer back to the perspective points. Right? And I also, I think I didn't share here, but this guy did mention, okay, in this video. So this first video, I know I cannot teach you guys all in one class. So I think I share the video. The best thing about YouTube video, you can make it faster. I hope you use that one. You can use this. Okay, you can use these settings, playback speed. You can change the speed. And you can skip it. Okay, so you can focus more on what's actually suitable for you, because there's a lot of things to teach. Okay, if I teach everything, I think it's going to be too much for you, especially for those who never tried both software. Okay, so here he will mention, I think over here, on how you can export using multiple effects. Let me just, I think here, over here. Let me open my SketchUp. Okay, like we just try to use this one, okay? So over here you can see scenes, sorry, not scenes, styles. So you can use all these styles. For example, if I use this one, hidden lines, you can see just lines. Let me delete this lady. This one is just wireframe. Others line, there's a lot of styles here. Okay. You can use this one, for example, straight lines. You can also edit. Okay, if you take assorted styles, and if I take the first one, for example, then you can edit. And the original default styles. Okay. I say this one. So you can see this, what's the difference? This one is without sheets. This is with sheets to share with you, to tell you how there's different surface here. Okay. You can have greens to show the ground. So this one also helpful for you when you have, for example, you render like this, then you want to add something at the back, for example, the end of the sea. So you can just replace it. You can just use this line as the guideline. Okay. Right. So you can edit here. Okay. You can edit. You can show hidden. Okay. Guides ni yang dekat luar. Okay, click the first one, sorry. Click the first one, you can see you can enable the edges, you can disable the edges, you want to have profile lines or not, extensions ke tak, nampak tak? Okay, extensions or not and others lah. Okay, so you can also disable them ni. And then export multiple layers. For example, I did mention in the video how you can use view, animation, add scene. Okay. So save this one, for example, maybe here. Okay, save this one as update first, and then save, rename, give name to it. For example, let's say this is just shades. Okay, then you can edit edges. Okay, so this is edges without any shades. You can again add and then rename to edges or maybe outlines. So create multiple of this and use the animation scenes to save the view. Okay. Another one is, let's say maybe we have another one for shadows. View shadows. So you can see the shadows there. Mana shadows punya. Here, shadows. You can edit this one. You can change the time. You can change the date. Okay. So if you want to make it as, you know how actually you can use it for, use sun for shading, for your studio work, right? So you can change it here. You can change the, you can play around lah, huh? Play around with this one. Okay. Apa lagi? I think I've mentioned a lot in the video already. So you also, as I mentioned last time, you use the software more than me. Okay, I didn't use much anymore since now I'm a lecturer. But during our student time, of course, we use this almost every day. So in this video, it's more on, okay, even though you are already expert in SketchUp and Photoshop, watch this video because I think it's very helpful, especially at the, so because there's a list on how you can use this. Yes, SketchUp Horizon, that is more on tricks, tips and tricks on how to work better. The last part is on how this one, how you can make it like blurry at the back, for example. Okay, now you can watch this one after this. So, okay, this is important. There's a few, of course, this like limited, not limited. There's a lot of ways on how you can render your building. Okay, so I share a few here that I think is not that hard and suitable for you know, not really newbies now, suitable for students. Okay, this one, the first one is more on realistic rendering. This is actually from this, mana dia? It's from this one. Okay, it's from SketchUp, but they use a lot of overlay materials, play around with the settings to produce something more complex, including the building material. Okay. And then this one is more on collage. I think I see a lot of students using this now, mostly in private university. It's a bit more artistic. But this one, if you realize, I'm not sure whether your lecturer allow you to use this one, okay? It's interesting in a way because, you know, it's a bit like suitable for younger people. I think the effects a bit like that retro, a little bit, but the lines are white lines. Okay, to get this effect, they use instead of black, they invert the lines to become white. That's the outcome. Okay, so this is the outcome. Right. So compared to the realistic one, this is a bit more clean. Okay, there's not much trees. I think if you are using this technique, you can add more things. I see people adding like, you know, birds, sun, and more people. Don't make it too empty like this. So this is in Indonesian. All right. This one is similar tutorial, so you can watch either one. I think this is very helpful because they teach you, they share with you how he created this one. So this is without narrative, without narration. Okay, similar one. So other than these three, there's a lot of other techniques like watercolor, for example. So you can find that one. I have one tutorial. I found one tutorial on watercolor, but I think the effect is not that interesting. So if you find tutorial on watercolor, you can share with everyone in the group. Okay, you can share with me if you're very shy. You can private message me and share the link, and then I can share with everyone. When you are students, even when you're working later, don't be too stingy. Okay, share with your friends, because that is what makes you a better person. Okay, shop. Let me open something. Yeah. Okay. There's brushes here. So in the next video, you see how the brush is here. And I did click here, can right click me. You can see how there's a few other brushes that can help you to produce your artwork. Okay. So this video is very helpful for you to explore the brushes. Please explore. I also, last time I did use this one to create, if your rendering is about, for example, something in the urban area, and you need a lot of people in the background, including those like, a bit like grayish silhouette punya people. So you can use brush actually. It will paste like different kind of people. I mean, one type of brush, one people lah, kan? So you can have a few outline for different people, and you can use that one. Or you can use for birds, etc. lah. So yeah, this is very helpful. This one, okay, why I share this video? Because I want you to understand this. Let me make it faster so we can watch while I'm explaining. Okay, so you see how actually, even though this tree, the tree that she just added, is actually it's a horizontal vertical, but she slanted it. And then she used the same tree for the bushes. Okay, the bushes here. There, that one. And then she also used parts of the tree, like use brush that looks like tree to make more grass and bushes. And you see how she used the same tree to create like multiple trees, and just copy everything, put it at the back, play around with the opacity, the sizes. You can just play with the colors. Forward a bit. Okay, again, trees. You can play with the, okay, and then you can, like now she's adding shadows, okay, and you can change the materials. Of course, I already mentioned this last week. And you can transform, make it, okay, to make it more realistic and suitable with the side of the building. And then you can apply the you can make it overlay. All right. So other than that, you can also shadows boleh tadi apa lagi. After this, she will share on how they can create reflection. So they add reflection, and they add like some tree on the windows so that it looks like reflection. Okay, and you can also, instead of, if using rendering software, you have to kind of have something in the building, so you can render it, right? So in this case, what she did was she just copied the picture of interior and just apply in this rendering and add the rails, for example. Of course, if you add railing here, you have to make sure that the railing is also in other views, okay? And even for lighting. I don't know whether you remember, last year I did mention to you guys how important it is to know how to render manually. Even though you know computer, you have to know how to render manually, because sometimes it's easier. It depends on people, okay? But some people think it's easier to render more in Photoshop because it's flexible. You can do anything you want. You can adjust the lighting. Okay, but in this case, of course, the original parts of the building is using V-Ray. Add people there. So to know how to rescale and how much to rescale, you have to understand perspective. Okay, what is the size of that human? And then how to, when you find the picture of the people, of course, you have to see the way they're facing in. If it's actually elevation, but the people is like very perspective, in the group of perspective, is going to be very weird. Okay. So that's all for today, actually. So I did ask you guys to try first just now. So hopefully some of you, anyone uploaded already? Only Izati? Okay. I give you until 4 o'clock, okay? Please upload your work last week, or if you have any question on the SketchUp and perspective rendering, please inform me. No, I think only 3:45 lah, okay? Until 3:45, please upload your work. Why? Because hopefully we can finish earlier, so you can continue with your work. I know you're very busy, there's a lot of assignment, okay? So during class, please cooperate. I think I mentioned last week, this is not like one-way class. You have to share what you've done in order for us to move forward. Thank you, Izati.
Yes, madam.
Thank you. Okay, Izati, for this one, okay, first, export from AutoCAD in black and white color. In black color, like basically black lines only.
Okay.
Okay, or of course you can edit in Photoshop also. You can do like this. See layers. Color plot. So you can use a layer or image. You can do adjustment. And maybe, for example, hue and saturation, you can change this one. Where's my setting? Here. You can play around with this one, but mine is already, I find something with colors. Wait, I can just use this yours. Copy image. Okay. So to transfer is Control T, and then you just drag like this. If you want to do the transformation just now, like the tutorial, you can press Control and you can adjust like this. So this is Control. This is alternate, is from the center. And this is Shift. Shift is, it's not constraint, okay? This is constraint, can? So if I press Control L is for levels. See how the color changes? This one is very helpful when you render for perspective later. You want to play around with the trees. For example, the trees at the back is more darker. Okay, so just now I say go to image. You can use brightness. I think saturation might help. You have to play around with this, huh? So make sure you choose only lines. So then now is more to black and white, and saturation is reduced. Because now I copied your image, so that's why like everything, all colors changed. If you use invert, it's different. This is invert, okay? Control I is for invert. Color balance, if you want to play around with the color, you see how the color become more reddish, less reddish. And others lah. Okay. Ni cakap tadi. So desaturate. You can also use desaturate, but I don't think the effect will be the same because the color is going to be like this because it's using red, for example, kan? Unless the color is darker. Okay, so I think the best to get a black and white punya outline that is very sharp. Make sure it's already black when you export from the AutoCAD. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Tu satu, nanti you take note comments ni. This one on the numbers ni, dimensions ni, nanti Izzati edit lagi so that it will be for example, say like this. So you have the line like this. So it's either the text is here, and I'm using my mouse to make sure dia lawa lah, kan, using AutoCAD. So either the text is here or it's like this. Number is somewhere here. Contoh lah, okay, 8. So this one because it's already mixed here kan, so dia nampak a bit messy. Okay, and then take note on the font size. Okay, this font size, make sure it's bigger here, or you can reduce this one so that it's a bit balanced. You can use the same font size because this one is in A3 kan. So imagine how big the text, these numbers are in A3. Okay. Okay. So, yang ni satu, yang ni satu, yang ni black and white. Samalah. Yeah, the furniture, you can either color this furniture or you can find furnitures online. You can find furnitures for floor plan. You can share with your friends. Means everyone can share together on the components. And you can place it here. I did share in this video. Kat sini ada. Oh, sorry. Last week's punya, this one. In this video, I ada share ni, floor plan on inserting furniture. Ni furniture, okay. I think in this one, what I did was I colored the empty part. Because there's lines like this kan. So what I did was I colored this one, the empty part. So you can also just fill this black color in AutoCAD. Or you can do it here. Okay. Okay. So this floor plan, because you have to place this information at the title block, kan? I already mentioned, put it in the title block. So you don't have to put it here. Just leave it in the title block. Ni pun tak, this is from my group. Okay. All right, tu je. Okay, thank you, Zati.
Thank you, madam. Noted.
Okay, who else? If you didn't show now, there will be no comments.
Hi, madam. I'm
Hello.
KK. Because my AutoCAD, the license is facing problems, so I just fixed. So I haven't done the floor plan yet. So can I pass out later?
Sure, you can. So this one is more on feedback. You're using students version, right?
Yeah, using student version, but don't know why my computer just turned off the licensing, so I cannot use. Just fix it.
Yeah. I pun pernah kena. You try to log in again.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright. Sama. Others, please just share any progress. Any progress is good. Like Izzati, for example, she already shared or she know what to do already. Kan? Don't need to complete it now. It's already 3:45. Only 3 people submit. Cepatlah korang. You guys tak nak balik So this is siapa tadi? Dashna. So this is Dashna. So Dashna, First is on the letterings. I think similar. Ini yang red color ni, make sure it's black color. Furniture pun sama. You can either use this one or you, okay. Just like I mentioned that you can have 2 layers. For example, one is with furniture from AutoCAD, one is without furniture. So you can use the one with the furniture only as the guideline because you're going to have separate layer kan? Only as the guideline, but insert furnitures from online. For example, you can see how this one is small. Pointer, spotlight. Nampak kan? So you see how, okay, how this one is actually very small. Okay, if this is 1 meter, the bed should be around 2 meters. And over here supposed to be around 2 meters. So it should be much bigger than this. So you can use the furniture in AutoCAD because that was usually is already in scale as a guideline on how big the furniture should be. Okay, and then the colors, color, scale, and font. Use like nicer font because now you're using it for presentation. And you don't need to put this grid lines. But this one, okay, the way, I mean, the location of the text compared to the lines is good enough. Okay, so you can save this. Let it be clear. All right. Okay. Okay, Dashna, take note, huh? Dashna, are you there? Ada, okay. Putra bilik apa ni? Oh, okay. Kecilnya gambar. Right. So I think on scale, okay, tak actually because Putra is already from diploma kan, you've done this before. But I think there's a few things juga, especially first is on the shadows. Okay, I mentioned this one first now. The scale of the car, I'm not sure whether this is true or not. Okay, the scale of the size of the car, but it looks like the size is very different. Okay, so make it more like realistic. For example, you can place the right car to the right a little bit, okay, and make more space for the left car. Second is on the shadows. Okay, the shadows here. So I don't think you need shadows here. Okay, and sini. And also some parts like toilet. You can have a little bit of shadow for the toilet. I know, like it's not like a shadow, it's more to vignette, we will say, macam ada like darker color at the corner. But this one is too dense. It looks like looks like this part is actually embossed. Okay. And what you can do is you can make it over here. You can for example, katalah yang ni. Okay, lepas tu kita guna shadows. Drop shadow. So you can see the distance, kan? The distance. And then to make it like less, this is the edges is very hard, very sharp, kan? So you can use this, size. You can use size so that it's not that hard. Okay, you can reduce this, you can play around with this. So that it'll just be like a more like soft shadows. Okay, same with this one. This is carpet, guys. So carpet, I don't think need like that much shadows. Okay. And another thing is on the material. Oh, this is actually one material. Is this like same material or separate one?
I think it's same.
Yang ni ada line ke?
No, this is same.
One material like that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Alright, same with this one dekat tingkap ni pun I think ada macam shadow sikit tu. So reduce the hardness of the shadow. Okay. Alright.
Thank you.
Sama-sama. Thank you for sharing. Guys, baru 4 orang ke share? Kena bagi hadiah ni siapa share. Oh, dah ramai. Dah ramai, is it? Oh, baru 4 orang. Others, please share also.
Sorry, madam.
Yeah.
I face some problem in exporting the floor plan. Then I will did it.
From AutoCAD, is it?
Yes. I don't know why, because once I export in the format,
Yes.
the file needed, just the AutoCAD will automatically close. Then yes.
Okay.
Then I will try to solve it.
Alright.
Sorry.
Okay. So anyone already did the perspective, mana tahu dah ada. SketchUp, anything you just upload here, okay? Because if I can give comments, so everyone else will also know what to do after this, alright? So don't mind, it's only 4, okay lah, only 4 students. The interesting thing is I actually have different comments for all 4 students, so it's very good. Okay, for Ji Hui, I think the color is very nice. If you get did you get the materials from the website that I shared?
I just searched from Google.
Okay, so because I think the materials is quite nice in terms of the color.
And then, madam, I have one question about I don't know how to stroke the furniture line.
How to stroke furniture line?
Yeah. Make it
Because this is from AutoCAD.
Yeah.
Furniture line, what you can do is, if you want to make it like that, contoh, for example, this one's maybe only this part kan, katalah only this part. So you can select here, you can press Ctrl J. I usually just use that one. So you can see it's become thicker. Okay, another way, if it's like, now I already have 6 layers, I can just click all, like this. You can press 1, you can press Shift, and then this one. It's like how you select files in your file explorer. Like over here, you can click here, Shift here, right? So same one, and then right click, you can press Merge. So yeah, good thing that you asked about that. So now I'm teaching you on merge, M-E-R-G-E, merge. So merge layers means instead of having multiple layers, you only have one. So if I click this, you can see that the color is maintained. Wait, which layer is that? Okay, so actually this one. Okay, so this is layer number. So you have to name your layers, so it's easier for you to find it. Okay. So merge layers is very helpful. For example, you created multiple trees for floor plan, side plan. Imagine you have trees at your side, and then there's a lot of layers. Of course, your software will be lagging. So merge all these layers. After you already decided where the trees are, merge the layers. You can also do this under edit. You can use stroke, but you have to be careful. Let me just try. Choose black color. Okay, choose black color here. You can place it inside, center, or outside. Let me try, just try to use outside. Click OK. You can see that it's thicker. But of course, it depends. Sometimes it becomes too thick. What you can do is you can also use it like 0.1. Tak boleh. Minimum is 1. So it might become too thick. So what you can do is you can just multiply the layer. But since you already created this, I think it's more interesting to have materials from. You can just find a floor plan for tables from the internet, and you can just use that one. Okay, I haven't teach you guys this on how to crop. Okay, for those who haven't do the task, don't worry. Okay, you can pay attention here now. Okay, don't worry, don't have to upload. I thought you already like, because some of you contacted me, so I thought like everyone already tried to do the rendering. Okay, so don't worry, don't have to continue now. Don't have to try to export now. Just focus on the lecture first, on the sharing, because hopefully you will not make the same mistake. So now it's not mistake, okay? Now it's just your learning. After this, if you submit with that, so that is called a mistake because I already pointed out in the class. Selection. So you can use this to select. Let's say when you find the furniture online is with background, kan? Use lasso tool. Just press here. Sorry, polygonal lasso tool. So press here, you just agak-agak lah, you can zoom in a bit. Just estimate. Zoom. Click once. Another one here. Tambah kan lebih kurang. Or you can also just delete the outside part. For example, if you're already done here, you can delete this one. You can do like that, or you can finish it first. Why do like this? So that hopefully sometimes you will accidentally click something and the selection is completed, or you can get a wrong selection. So it's going to be very hard for you to start again. So sometimes you can just when you did some part, you can just delete it. You can use this, you can use eraser, it's up to you. Okay. So after a while, you're going to do it very fast. You have to pay attention. You have to like zoom in like that and just jump agak-agak only, because we wouldn't see much on the different point. Remember, this is not AutoCAD. Okay, this is actually on the presentation rendering. So you can also use other things, other way to select. Quite time consuming. That's why I say if you can work with your friend, find multiple components, then you can share together. You can try to ask from your senior, they confirm will have it. Last time when I joined university, I will get it from my senior. They already got it from their senior, and the senior already got it from the other senior. So there's a lot of like one big folder of all these components. And for those who already done practical training, and office must already have all these components, you can just use that one if the office allowed. Okay. Oops, see, this is what I meant just now. So what you can do is you can add to selection. Okay, and then delete it back. Let me delete this. And so over here, you can just use E to erase. You can reduce the size. You can increase the hardness. You can just do like this. Or you can use M ke marquee tool, kan? Depends, huh? Depends. So now that you have that, you can select easily lah. I should make it bigger just now. Okay. So you can delete this. Okay, so now you got a table. Okay. Let me copy again. Floor plan here. Copy image. Paste. So another thing, ni tadi takut I lupa Wait, there's two things. So one is this one, before I forgot, I want to teach you this. So if using brush tool, make it bigger. If I click here once, let me choose the harder one. General brush, hard round. Click here one, and then press shift, click here. You can get lines. So you can draw like simple lines using that. Click here once, and then go away. Maybe you want to click under here, until here, press shift, click over here. Okay. So this start lagging. I did. My mouse problem. Okay. All right. So let me delete that. Another thing else, apa ni tadi? Jihui Jihui. So if you see now, you nampak tak besarnya glacier kan, macam lalang kan? So pay attention on the scale of the pattern. I think in your case, all scales are very big. For example, the one in the bedroom, kan? The one here at the outside here, the bed one, okay lah, can consider. This one, the pebbles outside, so make it smaller. If you make this as pattern, it's easier because you can just play around with the scale, kan? I'm not sure how you use this pattern, whether you just place it on top and delete the border, or you use pattern that I teach you last time. This one, pattern overlay. If you use pattern overlay, it's easy because you can change the scale. See, this one. You see how the background kan is bigger, smaller. So you can play around with this. Okay, what else? You do have any question, Jihui?
I think it's just the question I asked just now, the stroke one so far.
Okay. So ni sayanglah ni ada apa ni?
Logo.
Nanti this one you delete this one, this part. Yang ni. Because for doors there's no line here kan?
Yes, madam.
You can actually do this tau. For example, you deleted this one kan? You can just copy from somewhere else, or you can just use stem. Stem, maybe not this case lah, but it's very helpful in certain cases. For example, you put here. So it will copy the pattern somewhere else. So that is stem. And instead of having lines here, you can also like delete this line. Brush. You also delete this one. And you can just put the material to differentiate the space. Because actually there's no line there, kan? There's no line between rooms. Unless the level is different. For toilet, okay lah. Ni dah more on AutoCAD, no lines there. Okay. Ni pun kan, you can, instead of having this one, you can use the real sink, the picture from for the plan kan, you can use that one. Mana apa dia? Dia ice, is it? This look a bit weird, you can just place the fridge here lah. Place the fridge here, so make this place empty. Unless you want to make it L. Depends but I think you can just place it here facing there. So it's like one big space. Up to you lah, up to you. But then make it like, let's just one furniture there. Make it L or place it on the right. One thing. This one is supposed to make it empty on the left side. Okay, only render on one side. Empty means just with black and white. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
All right. So last we have Yukin here. Okay. So I already gave you the video. Hopefully after this, maybe we finish at 4:15. We have another 45 minutes. Please use that time to for this class. And then you can continue after this. And again, please share next week so we can discuss during class.
Excuse me, madam, I have a question.
Hello? Yeah?
For example, let's say we take an image of a furniture from the internet, and that furniture already has an existing shadow on it. How
Okay.
do we get rid of it in Photoshop?
Existing shadow on the furniture or the
Yeah, on the furniture.
You can edit manually if you want, or you can just find without the shadows. But it's good if you have shade. Okay, if you're using shadows for the whole rendering, so you can use the same shadows. If not, you can either, if the shadows is like falls on the ground, you can just edit again. If it falls on the furniture also, you can also edit, but I think it's a bit time consuming, so it's easier for just find another one without shadows. For example, like this one, there's also shadows, but it's not too much, so you can use something like this. Is the shadow from another furniture or another component?
No, it exists on the bed. That means the sheets have its own shadow.
Something like this?
It's more darker on the sides actually.
So if it's editable, if you think you can still play around to edit it to make it nicer, it's okay. You can just edit. If not, I think just find another one. Okay. You can same with your friend just now. This one, there's no line here. Ni tak ada line. I think you can try to see whether this one is too dark. I think it's too dark. You can reduce the in AutoCAD or over here. You can try to play around. If it's inside Photoshop, you can try to explore. You can either maybe select this part. You can make the color maybe a bit grayish. You can delete some of it. Up to you how to explore that and how to use the software. Or in AutoCAD, when you want to export, make sure the line weight is correct. Okay. I think scale wise, I'm not sure what's the dark line. Is it from the bed? Because even if it's from the bed, it looks a bit too dark. So you can adjust that a bit. Maybe it's the base of the bed, for example. What is this one? It looks like it's overlay, like there's two furniture over here. Yuki, ni apa eh?
Yes, madam.
What is this one?
The wardrobe.
Wardrobe? I'm confused why there's like one wardrobe here, one line here, and another one here. So if it's actually like that, I think you can just, so in Photoshop somehow, even though the one that you get is something different, so you can just edit however you want, okay? But you have to understand the scale, how it looks like, because now it's to look a bit weird. Kan nampak macam, you understand kan? Apa yang I cuba sampaikan ni? It looks like it's like wrongly rendered. It looks like lah, even though maybe it's correct kan?
Maybe I chrome it.
Maybe what? Sorry?
I chrome it. Chrome. C-R-O-M-E. Chrome.
I'm not sure. You try tengok lah. Nampak tebal lah dinding dia. Okay, I think in terms of improvement, so you can try to see, for example, maybe this one is too dark, kan? a little bit on that. Maybe this one you can find a nicer material because this one looks very, one is a bit dark compared to other parts. It looks like it's more highlighted. Okay, you want to highlight more on the interior part because when you're sharing floor plans, you basically want to share on the spaces. But now this one looks a bit dark on the outside part here. This one also, yeah?
Noted, madam.
Okay. All right. You can always see examples online. This one, if you want to make it like this, leave some space from, like between here, leave some space here. You know how to edit kan dekat AutoCAD tu? Or it's neater if you can make the text like this. So like facing this way. Okay, and leave some gap here. And you can reduce this one, you can make it nearer. So the line can be here, the text can be here, for example. So they need skit lah. Okay, there's 3 lines here. No, I think leave it until 2 lines only. Tak payah sampai 3. Okay, only 2. One is for the overall, and then another one is for the main dimension. Because we just want to understand the maybe how big is that room. So you can use like maybe here 1, 2, 3, okay, and then here 4, 5, for example. You can just leave the buff number 1 ke, and then another one maybe here. Okay, so that's for the inside size, dimension, and then another one is for the whole building, of course. Okay. All right, anyone have any other question or anyone else have submit? Ada question tak? Tak ada? I saw someone trying to uploading something. So if there's no more question, tak ada question ke yang perspektif pun? You know how to do the perspective kan? So refer back to the link that I already upload, that I already share with you. Under the project brief, okay? This one here. Have you tried to see the buildings? So if you think the building is too small, what you can do is, or like not that fun kan? Too basic. You can go down, okay, scroll down here. So you see how simple the buildings are, because I want you to focus more on exploring the software and also to understand the text. So understand the text, and because in next week, you have to also create one diagram. So by understanding on this create one diagram, or like, for example, diagram ke, sketches ke, to help explaining the design. Okay, so that's why I find things with text and explanation, so you can also use that. So these 2 buildings is a bit bigger, but it's with nice materials. So this is one, this is another one. Okay, if you want to use this building, inform me, because I want to take notes. I don't want like half of you using these 2 buildings, right? So hopefully there's not much, hopefully you prefer the smaller one. Okay, but if you prefer the bigger one, inform me and you can just use it. For the rendering that you have to do, you don't have to refer, you don't have to follow the exact site. Okay, don't have like, you just don't follow this one. I don't want you to like place it exactly like this. Okay, you can use your own site unless the explanation that you want to, you want to explain on the board, that the building, the building is at that site because of what, etc. So if the site is important, yes, you can render like similar to the site. If not, just use any site that you want to use, any background. Okay. All right. Okay, so no new submission. So if there's no question, I'll see you next week. Same, is it same time next week? Same time lah, huh? Same time at 3 o'clock. So before the class start, 3 o'clock doesn't mean you go to your computer at 3 o'clock, okay? 3 o'clock because at 2 o'clock you have to view the videos. You have to try something, do something so that during the class, we have things to discuss. Okay, you see how when we are doing discussion, there's things that, there's more things that I can share with you. Okay.
Sorry, madam.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. May I ask a question? Because there's a light at the door, right? Because madam asked me to remove it, but in interior is like up 50 mm or down 50 mm.
If there's different level, yes, you need the level. You need the line.
Then for the living and the dining area, because there's no line there, but I just put different flooring. Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay. This one, right? Yes. So your room is lower level than the living room, the floor level?
Level up.
Okay. Usually it's the same level tau. Okay.
Not sure. But
So usually it's just the same level. It's a bit weird to have like you want to go to the bedroom, you have to like there's a step here. Usually there's no step. Unless for certain reason, like maybe inside the house there's like one stage here or the living room is like step down so that one is different lah. But to the rooms usually there's no level. Oh, I think maybe kalau certain houses, the landed houses, sometimes the one that we built ourselves, sometimes maybe there's different level. But usually, generally, this is just the same level. Okay.
Sorry, I just checked on my hostel. I mean, hostel. The room there is step up.
Your hostel room?
From corridor into the rooms, there's a level up. I mean, step up.
Yeah, because it's from outside to the inside, right?
Yes.
And this is already inside the house.
Hostel. I mean hostel.
Yeah. Hostel because you're from outside, you're going inside to your room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Usually it's just like 50 lah kalau from different rooms macam hostels, usually just 50. Toilet pun usually 50, but some toilets has the differences. No, 25, sorry. 50 or 25 pun cukup dah. Okay, tak apa, never mind. We're doing only on the floor plan. Okay, so the level is based on the design. Since this one is on rendering, so actually I don't want to comment on that, but usually it's the same level lah. Okay. All right, so see you next week. Don't forget the attendance. Anyone, do you haven't take the attendance yet? Attendance. Where is it? Ada semua dah attendance? Okay, so if you already take your attendance, so I see you next week, same time. Please do the exercise on today's catch up and rendering, so you can share with everyone next week. Okay, just upload at the same palette. All right, take care.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Assalamualaikum.
Baru dengar suara semua orang. Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, madam.